Papua New Guinea is on the brink of a multi-billion-dollar economic boom, but as big business scrambles for a share of the profit, the local people are battling to survive against rising costs and third world conditions.
In Papua New Guinea, life can be tough. Infrastructure is crumbling, roads resemble craters, power and water supply is never guaranteed. It's sometimes lawless and dangerous.
Just outside one of our shops in town, where the security guards could not handle it anymore. They just said, look, go out and sort it with your husband. So the woman went out outside the street and she got stabbed.
Lae is PNG's second biggest city. Australian soldiers helped build the public hospital at the end of World War II. At 65, it's underfunded and overwhelmed, and handling its first outbreak of cholera in 20 years. Patients are being treated in a makeshift tent city.
Shortfall of sort of public health funds has meant that the health department hasn't been in a position that it should be to be able to tackle it readily, and the government seems to have been a little bit slow-footed in allocating the funds needed for the health department.
They're surrounded by asbestos and medical waste. The lucky ones sleep inside on the floor to keep cool. Illnesses like malaria, tuberculosis and typhoid are rampant. The chance of survival is low. The morgue is overflowing. Bodies barely wrapped in their own clothes are being stored in poorly cooled shipping containers. It's conditions like these that most of the population has to endure. 85% of Papua New Guineans make their living in traditional rural communities.
Garden kai go sare no market isi money. We play live and stuff. I'm good play life.
While many Papua New Guineans live off the land, for those living in the cities, life is that much harder. Former soldier John Ezekiel travels from his village each week in search of better opportunities. He earns about $35 a week patrolling Port Moresby compounds, where houses rent for $2,000 a week.
I'm trying best to work and earning a little bit of salary to support my kids to school, to bring them to school for future life.
A resources boom has the PNG government promising a brighter tomorrow.
Quite rich, and the landowners and the provincial government will have quite a considerable amount of money to reinvest in road, bridges and other investment activities, education, women and children programs.
But so far the reality is there's little government support for the poor or disadvantaged.
They are hearing about all these benefits of development. They hear that we've got a mining boom and then an LNG boom, but they really don't see very much in the way of benefits from it.
Meanwhile, the Prime Minister jets around the country and well-heeled ministers invest in Australian real estate.
I want to encourage my landowners to come and invest in real estate property and other investment opportunities that Cairns provide.
That's a distant dream for most of PNG's unskilled workers.
Papua New Guineans need the opportunity to be trained, to lift their capability, to enable them to earn a better rate.
Despite a massive liquefied gas project about to get underway, most of the 12,000 jobs won't be filled by locals.
If we could get enough people in government understanding that business isn't a threat to this process, it's actually a positive to making sure that this money is properly husbanded, properly used and used for the good of all in the society.
Something those in the Lae hospital would be sure to agree with. In Papua New Guinea, Matt Neagle, 10 News.